All right, good morning to you all. Good morning, good morning. How are you? How are you feeling? Welcome to Family Morning Transformation with yours truly, DMP Speaks. I'm so glad to be with you all on this morning. Couldn't get on yesterday, but I am here today for you all, and I hope that you all are feeling well. Listen, if this is your first time on this live, let me introduce myself properly. My name is David M. Pinkston, but I go by the name of DMP Speaks. I am an empowerment speaker, a board certified Christian counselor, and a family restoration specialist, which means I come to rebuild and grow your family dynamic in your family, in your home. I do these lives every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. and on Saturday at 8:30 a.m. And I'm so glad to be with you all on this morning. Please, as you go through, say hello to me. If you like something that you heard, please comment, please like, and also please share and follow me. If you're not following me, follow me. I have content. I have my shows that are coming up. I have my podcast on this Thursday at 9 p.m. I also have my radio show, which is called Speak Out Loud Radio Show on this Saturday at 2 p.m. Excuse me. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it whatsoever. Please download the Fire 716 app on Android and at the Apple Store. So with all that being said, let's get into this morning's content. What I really want to talk about for a few moments is this: how to not even overcome, but control your emotions when your child disappoints you. Let me say that again. How to control your emotions, to overcome your emotions at times when your child disappoints you. And I'm going to say this as clear as I can say it. Your child will disappoint you either now, or has disappointed you, or they will disappoint you now, or they're going to disappoint you in the future. Because this is what happens. Children make mistakes. Children make mistakes. Children make bad decisions because a lot of them feel like they have it all together, right? And they feel, not because they just have it together, that they feel that they have their own interpretations. Listen, I used to have one. You ask my father in heaven. I'm talking about my biological father in heaven and my mother. You can ask them. I used to have an interpretation for everything. And there were things that I felt like I could do on my own. I felt like there are certain things I can choose on my own. And all of us as humans have free choice, but at a certain age, you might have feel like you got free choice, but there are choices that some of our young people, some of your children, your grandchildren have made that weren't that great. And because of this, they can bring a lot of headaches to you. Seriously, they bring a lot of headaches. They bring a lot of emotions, thoughts. You might want to be smacking them around a little bit, because the reason why I'm talking about this, because when we don't control our emotions when they disappoint us, then our emotions run rampant. I'm not saying that you should not chastise your child. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be angry. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to say the things that you need to say to correct the error that they have made and the choices, the indecisiveness or decisiveness that they have made. But what I'm saying is, you never want your emotions to overthrow your learning and your chastisement and that learning moment that they need from you. Because you're so angry, you start saying things that have nothing to do with the situation, right? And I'm not saying that some kids don't need to be removed from your home by your authority, but you want to have the most level head as you can have. because that's when a lot of problems do surface, because we have bottled up so much emotions and we don't have, going back to this communication piece, because it's not just, oh, having a conversation is done. I'm talking about multiple conversations. Even if that teen, yeah, that young person gets angry, you don't want your emotions to overthrow what they need from you, the information, the wisdom, the understanding, because a lot of kids don't have it. They have sometimes, if I could be honest, they have a one-track mind on what they want to do, when they want to do it, and how they want to do it. And because of that, sometimes when they don't have the information on how to make these decisions, and they react to certain things a certain way, that's our responsibility, right? To correct that. But it's also our responsibility to have the most level head that we can have, because then we add to the tension. I'll say it again. We start to add to the tension that's already there. And it could be multiple times, and it could be tiresome. If your child is continuously making bad decisions, police are involved, or the courts are involved, and you got children. That's another thing. You got other children, and they're looking at the behavior of that particular child or children, and it's making the household not conducive for good, healthy relationships. I know I'm talking to somebody this morning. I know this is something that's going on. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what your job is. I don't care about your family background as far as, oh, we're prestigious. Everybody got problems with their kids. And what I mean by that is certain levels too. I'm not saying everybody is stealing and all that. I'm not saying. I'm talking about disappointments. There's different levels of disappointments, right? My son might do something, but it's not to the place that, oh man, we got to get court involved. It's just certain things when they disappoint you. And your child will disappoint you. And this is not their last time disappointing you, because it's going to happen. So that's what I'm saying. You got to have a level head when you're dealing with their issues, because their issues, when they're young, are not just their issues. They're your issues as well. You have to be able to address those in the best possible way. You can't even jump to bad conclusions, right? You have to have a level-headed mind. You have to have a level-headed emotion and thought, again, to correct that error. Because if you go off, right, and if you are all over the place, and you don't have control of your emotions, if you don't have control of yourself, it makes things worse. Yeah, I am in the business of grounding. I'm in the business of taking things away. I'm in the business of, oh, you're getting off this team now, or you're doing this and that, right? But when I make those decisions with me and my wife, I have to have a level head. A lot of times, I'll be honest, everybody, you know what my secret weapon is? I'm gonna tell you what my secret weapon is. Prayer. Prayer. Many times before I say something to my son, or when I was helping raising my niece, and happy birthday, babe. She's 22 today. I love you. I'll say it on live. I love you. I'll give you a little shout out. But not all the time. But there are times that I had to pray. And I'm just going to be honest, because of me praying and asking our Heavenly Father for direction, He gave it to me because I asked for it. And that's one of the things that I'm going to say. You want to have a level head when you're talking to your child, whether you pray a lot or not. Ask for wisdom. What to say. I'm serious. I'm so serious. Ask, how can I handle this situation because it keeps happening, or it's multiple situations happen. I don't want to just keep going off. I want this child to understand this is not okay, but I still want to show love, and that's the next thing. When you control your emotions, you can still chastise and be authoritative, and still show love and still show compassion. Yes, you can do all three in conversation. Hear me out. You can do all three. You can chastise, you can be authoritative, you can be loving, and you can be compassionate. You can still say what you say, but you still can control your emotions. And I'm not saying it's the easiest thing, but again, going back to my original thing that I say all the time, this is why it's called family morning transformation. Not only do our kids need to be transformed in our homes, the parents and guardians also have to be transformed in the home. How we handle situations, even though our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents handled a certain way, and I'm not saying that they were wrong, but in that particular time that was needed, right? But you got to find your way on how to chastise and how you have to deal with certain things in your home, because that's your home. So it's going to look a little different. How my mom and my father raised me, how to handle certain things, a lot of that I will take. But there are certain things that I won't do because my household is a little different than how I grew up. There's more challenges. There's different challenges. There's different conversations. That's a big thing too. There's different conversations. So different conversations got to have some similarities on how you grew up, especially if it worked, especially if it wasn't abusive, and it wasn't feeling neglected and feeling down and your self-esteem was down. So there are certain things that you can take from where you come from, and there's certain things that you know that because you dealt with it, that you wouldn't do it, right? But for me, I know there's certain things I definitely have taken from my parents, but there are certain things that I didn't. One thing I can say, they have always been emotionally stable when they were talking to me. Was the yelling there? Was the frustration there? Oh yeah, I could feel it. You couldn't even cut it with a knife. But the way that they talked to me, they did it with wisdom. The way that they came at me was with wisdom. And I had to do the same thing. And listen, parents and guardians, you got to do the same thing. Say what you say, right? But say it in a way that you get into that child as much as possible. Does it work all the time? No, but you got to keep doing it. You have to continue to keep talking to your child, but you have to control your emotions. You have to control how you feel, because you don't want that to dictate the conversation that you need to tell them, to inform them, this is not okay, but we're going to work on this. You've made me angry. You've disappointed me. You got to let them know how you feel, right? Don't leave nothing out. If they need to hear it, tell them. But there's a certain way that you can do it, because you don't want your child not to be free to come to you. Every time it's a shouting match. Every time it's embarrassing them. You could tell them what you have to say, but you don't have to always embarrass them all the time, because you're trying to make the relationship better. And I know in every situation, it's not always there yet. But that's why I do these lives and I do my shows, and I have my program, which is called the Family Reconnection Program, to help you and your family transform your family in your home, to change that family dynamic for the better and not the worse. So if you're interested in my Family Reconnection Program, listen, all I need you to do is go to my bio right now, sign up, click the link and sign up for your 30-minute free consultation call with me. Listen, I want to see how I can help your family, what tools that you need in your toolbox. If you have nothing there, we can start building them. If you have certain things, all I'm coming to do is be the bridge gapper that you need between you as a parent or guardian and your child to bring your family dynamic together to make it stronger. I believe in you. I believe that things can change. I believe that things will be better for you. And that's what I'm here to do. Listen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your support. I need you guys to share this with someone. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Listen, catch me on Thursday night at 9 p.m. for my show, which is called The Better Podcast. Yours truly, DMP Speaks, and at 2 p.m. on Saturday, like I've stated, Speak Out Loud radio show at Fire 716. Download the app at Android and your Apple store. And listen, I will not be doing the Zoom this particular week, but next week I will have a free registration only private Zoom on next week. I need y'all support. It's going to be a great time in May. You do not want to miss it. Guys, thank you so much for your time. And I will see you bright and early tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day.